No issues there. Nice. We're live now, and I'm gonna start this. Bring the levels down.
What up, y'all? You're now listening to Infused Influence, where we're infused by weed culture, cannabis business, and its politics through conversations with special guests. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
All right. We are back with another edition of Infused Influence. It's your host here, Ulysses. I'm joined today with two special guests instead of Rayvon.
Yeah, we replaced Rayvon now with me.
Yo, let's go. That's
I'm
Lorian.
Lorian. Nice
Lorian.
to meet you guys.
Yeah.
Welcome to Infused Influence.
You guys know him though. He helped with the setup,
We setting up.
especially those for the, watching live streaming for sure. And then, our special guest today, Lorian. You knew this dude from shopping with us for a minute, right?
Wow, he's been one of my best. Oh my goodness, I talk to him every time we come.
Yeah,
It's
that's what's
great.
up.
I keep coming. Some people that you have here are the reasons why I keep coming back.
Yo, that's
because
what's
you
up.
have good
I appreciate that.
conversations.
Yo, I honestly,
knows.
I feel that about, let's clap it up for Drew, guys. Let's clap it up for Drew.
Appreciate it.
Drew, say your last name for me.
My name is Drew Milionis.
Millionis. Drew's been here for 2.5 years. He just disclosed to me. That went by fast, bro.
Pretty fast, yes, I'd say so.
I feel like it was just last week, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Yo, that's what's up, man. So yeah, Drew's decorated background for serving this country, as well as just being Worcester born and raised.
Straight up. Yep.
Yeah, you
Yes,
got 4 brothers, or there are 4 of you?
I have 4 older brothers.
So
there's
it's 5 of
us,
them.
yes. So I have a little sister too. She's got 5 older brothers.
Yeah, that's wild, dude. So yeah, for those ringing off in Worcester, you probably heard the name.
That's
You
right.
had to have. Wait,
Easily.
well, how many decades does that cross between you and all your brothers?
My oldest brother is 54.
And then your
My
your
youngest sister is 35.
Wow. Okay.
That's an age difference.
Yeah.
yeah, that's a.
Honestly, that's not too bad. So 20
not.
about 20 years.
Yep.
Yeah, but you're in the middle, basically.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm like second to the youngest.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what's up, dude. And you guys are all like Worcester public schools.
Grew up on Chandler Street. Yeah.
Yo, that's crazy.
Wow.
Did any of you guys have like the same teachers?
Oh, of course. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Down to your sister?
Even Deirdre had like those teachers that I had when they were 60, they were like 80.
Right.
Or I don't know.
Right, 40 and
I probably
60.
had them when they were 40, and she had them when they were 60. You know
Yo,
what I
that's
mean?
what's up, bro. Wow, man. So let's clap it up for Drew again. This is Worcester through and through. And as I mentioned, he served our country as well. So we definitely appreciate him being here, having great conversations with our customers that walk in the door.
All day.
Yeah.
All day. I don't know. I have the gift of gab. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
can talk to anybody.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
No, I believe it, bro. I believe it. So tell us your story. How'd you got involved here, bro? And where we're at currently.
I was a machinist by trade for almost 20 years. And then the pandemic happened. And I ended up I don't know, I just didn't want to work in a factory anymore. You know what I mean? So I took a little time off. I had a mutual friend that worked here, and he was like, hey, you want to check IDs? If you're bored, come check it out. And I took him up on the offer, and here I am.
Wait, who was that?
It was Al.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Shout
the
out
one-
to Al.
the one and only.
Dude, I thought you started before him.
No, man. No. It was him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wow. So that means that had to have been 2.5 years since
Yeah,
he.
something like that, yeah.
Yo, it's wild,
Yeah,
dude.
man.
So what were you, and I know your backstory, but like what were you doing in terms of machinery and stuff?
Oh, CAD design and
Were you really?
yeah, manual lathes, all types of
I
stuff.
didn't know that,
I was
bro.
technically a tool maker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, that's cool.
It was a technical job. I did trigonometry for shits and giggles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No wonder I like talking to you.
Did you know he did CAD design, bro?
No, I had no
He
idea.
did- Lorian does CAD design.
Yeah, I do it too. So
Yeah,
that's why
it's
like
awesome.
that's why we like talk. And I realize now the conversations we had, we probably used some of that. That's why
Easily.
we had such good conversations.
sense
Now it
for
makes
it,
sense.
makes sense,
Oh, that's so nice.
No, that's solid, bro. So with that being said, man, tell us like just your Worcester, like growing up here. I know you were in the military for a little bit, and
Yep.
then how did you get into CAD design or machinery?
I just got a job I mean, if you're a Worcesterite, you call it Norton Company, but it's really called Saint-Gobain. And I just got a job at Saint-Gobain. I had a brother that worked there. I didn't know what to do when I got out of the Marine Corps. I didn't really care. You know what I mean? And yeah, then I just spun my wheels there for a long time. It's not like I was bad at it. I was really good at it. But working in a factory, I don't know. It's not all it's cracked up to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's like working in a casino, no windows. You know what I mean? It just makes no sense. You see the same people every day, and I don't know. Variety is the spice of life. You know what I mean?
No, I feel you, man. I feel you. So where did the love for cannabis come in? I mean, I know you got
the only time I ever stopped smoking marijuana was when I did my time in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
That's it. And I picked up right where I left off as soon as I could.
How much time did you do at the Marine Corps?
I did 6 years in the Marine Corps.
Wow.
So it was probably from like 17 to about 23.
That's amazing.
I probably just turned 23 here, like 22.
How was your experience with weed prior to going in?
It wasn't a big deal. I just started smoking weed at a very young age. You know what I mean? Like, because I was a hoodlum. You know what I mean? And yeah, I mean, like, then you're gonna join the military. You can't do that, so you just snap yourself right out of it pretty quickly when you set your mind to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So 2-part question: did you probably yes, but did like your brothers introduce you to weed? Your older brothers? Or?
I wouldn't know, not necessarily.
No?
Like, I think we've all enjoyed it together at one point in time, maybe, but no.
Do you remember the first time you got high, bro?
First time I got high, I think it did have something to do with my brother Nicholas.
Yeah, it had to. Come on, bro.
But then, like, after that, no, we just like took it from there. And
Yeah.
it was different back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would say it was a self-regulating industry back then.
Right.
And what I mean by that is, now it's fortunate. Awesome. People can skip in here and buy the best stuff ever. You know what I mean? But I say back in the day, above having money and a connection and everything else, you needed to be cool to buy marijuana.
Right.
Because if you were a nerd or I don't know, weirdo of some sort, you weren't getting served, man.
Right.
And I'm not saying I don't know. Sometimes I see people, I'm like, dude, if it was illegal, nobody would be selling it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's funny. So how did you go to being introduced to weed at a young age to joining the Marine Corps
I
at
don't know.
17?
You're just a young kid. That's what you do.
Any of your siblings?
Nope.
No.
My father's a Greek immigrant. He joined the Marine Corps, and then when he was done with that, he was in the 82nd Airborne.
Gotcha.
And I don't know. None of my brothers did it, and I decided to do it.
Yeah.
And it was pretty cool, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say I was a little kid, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll be
17. Yeah.
I'll be 42 on April 23rd. And
That's what's up.
I'm like literally a baby. When I show you photos of me from back then, I'm a puppy. You know
Oh,
what I
I've
mean?
seen him, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
I've seen him.
Exactly.
At least some.
Where were you stationed at?
Everywhere.
Yeah. So they just made you. Do you
Well,
know,
no, it was like headquarters Marine Corps, the DC, but most of the time I did in Camp Lejeune. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then I don't know. Then you fulfill your contract. And you're
And then they just
inactive,
send you.
the IRR, the inactive ready reserve, and you I don't know.
When they need you, they call you.
Yeah.
Oh, so you were a reserve for a little bit too?
Well, I think everybody does a little time in the inactive, in the IRR when you get out.
Yeah. So what made you not want to continue?
I don't know, man. I love guns, and I first joined the Marine Corps because I guess it was I don't know, I was a young crazy kid, and I was like, I should be a state trooper because if you can't beat them, join them.
Oh my goodness, dude.
And then I don't know, like you play with guns a lot, and then you don't want to. In the Marine Corps, and I didn't want to. I love guns, but I don't want to carry one for a living, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to get smoked. You know what I mean?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So
That energy comes back.
It just wasn't appealing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If anything, I don't know. If you remember Jerome, who worked here,
Yeah, of course.
We always talked about it's like everything they teach you in the Marine Corps is it's totally not applicable to the civilian world. It's just
yeah.
not. It's just not. So you have to like unteach yourself those
Yeah.
things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, of course, man. Of course. Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know that you had thoughts of being a state trooper.
Oh, totally. Yeah. And it was just like a little like a cocky kid attitude. Like
Yeah.
whatever, man. If you can't beat them, join them.
So did you pursue that once you got out?
No,
at all?
I don't know. I've always had a deep hatred for law enforcement.
I was
to be honest with you, you know what I mean?
Knowing our
hatred.
conversations,
Deep
I'm like,
hatred. People think that ACAB thing is like a new slogan. That's an old slogan.
What is
bro.
ACAB?
All cops are bastards.
Oh. You have to have some friends that are cops.
You know what's funny? I just made a delivery to a kid that I used to work with who became a police officer.
No way.
Yeah,
Is it
well,
Worcester?
it was his brother, and because it's Easter today, they were having a party, and he was like, "Yo, my brother's here." And it was awesome. It was good to see him. But
Yeah.
So I've had a couple of pals become, but you can tell they're not happy, man. That's not a happy job, dude.
Yeah.
Money isn't everything.
Dude, yeah. I used to sell weed with this kid one summer in 07, and in 08 he was. I kid you not, bro.
He was a police officer.
He was a police officer, bro. He went to the academy in Connecticut,
God,
and like that next year, I was like, bro.
Amazing.
Yeah, I have friends that became. Yeah, it's funny. You'd be doing crazy stuff with them, and
Right.
then all of a sudden they're like, "Yeah, I'm a police." I'm like, "Huh?"
Yeah.
Like, how?
But from what I understand, like in New Jersey law enforcement can smoke weed.
Oh,
Really?
100%. I think it's the only state where you could actually, like, you
I have
can.
to do some research on that,
Get
bro.
back to the tri-state.
Yeah. How? Well, like, because the other states get tested and
Yeah,
stuff.
of course. It's, you know what I mean? But, like, for whatever
Jersey,
reason.
yeah.
I think it was like nobody wanted to be a cop, so they were just like, drop the.
Yeah.
the
Oh, that
the
makes sense.
Marijuana
And
requirement.
not New York though.
No.
No, I feel like
Not
everyone
yet,
wants to
not
be
yet.
a cop in New York, but not in New Jersey. Like New Jersey, no one wants to. Not never.
No,
You want to live close to New York if you're gonna live in New Jersey, like, or at least close to Pennsylvania. Like I don't know how to feel because I had like family in New Jersey. Ain't no one wanted to hang out in New Jersey.
Yeah.
So I feel like people just want to get out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if you're a cop in New Jersey, you got to stay in New Jersey.
that's
You know,
wild,
like,
yeah.
you don't want
I
to
can
do
remember
that.
I flew into Newark Airport during the East Coast blackout. So look up whenever that was.
Yeah.
And there was no lights on. And I always knew, like, or heard, like, New Jersey sucks. Like, but I didn't know that the power was off. We all got off the airplane. I was like, this is a dingy ass airport. You know what I mean? But no, it was like,
Yeah, the
of course, the one day I have to travel is a huge East Coast blackout.
Yo, what was that for the Marine Corps? No.
Yeah. I was like coming back to visit. Yeah.
Bro, that was recent. Wait, when was your last year?
Officially 2010.
Yeah, that
But
makes
I was
sense,
Like, but
bro.
I was like, I think I was done to like 08.
Oh, word, no doubt.
And I'm not sure when that East Coast blackout was, but
Yeah, nah, it was around like.
I want to say it's like 06.
Yeah,
could
bro.
Be like 04. Who knows?
It was before Katrina, or I think it was after Katrina.
Katrina,
Yeah,
yeah.
Katrina was 06 or 05. So yeah, no, that's
Let's fact check this.
yeah, no, that's super interesting, bro. So yeah, man. So you remember your first experience smoking, and then you were there for a while up until you went to the Marine Corps. So was there any? Did you like? And I asked this because I know a guy in the industry that was in the Air Force, and he got kicked out for smoking weed.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You know what I'm
Zero
saying? So was
tolerance.
that
Yeah,
was
zero
what,
tolerance.
was it going around like? You know, as a 17, 18, 19-year-old, did you see guys
Yes,
like?
yeah, of course. They go home, they come back, they pop in their piss test. You know what I mean?
So that's
Yep.
usually how it works.
Yep.
Rather than like, all right, I could smuggle some weed to this camp that we're at.
Yeah, no, it's not even like that. I mean,
No.
you could get away with if you found any.
Yeah.
Like in a war zone, you definitely get away with getting high. You know
Right.
what I mean? Because they don't drug test you in country. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
If it was that easy to come home from a war zone, come on.
Right.
You know what I mean?
How often did you get drug tested?
Well, it's probably once before you left, and then once before you come back from deployment. Like,
Right.
But then I don't know, maybe once every 3 months. It's random.
Really?
It's random. Yeah.
Wow.
I do have a question about that because I
course.
have a friend that does PT. I'm not trying to say,
No doubt.
you know, I'm not
No doubt.
snitching on them,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
did you ever have to get someone else's pee to pass your test?
No,
Oh,
never.
okay,
And
nice.
you can't do that.
Yeah.
In the Marine Corps, you're treated like cattle. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
like
that
at a
makes sense.
slaughterhouse.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
it's like there's someone watching, and that's
Oh,
all I want to say.
Yo, that's crazy.
They're literally watching.
Damn.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like too close for comfort. It's not like, oh, we trust you. Go in this room alone. You're fine.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's
Nah,
like,
man.
okay.
They need to see.
Interesting.
They need to see
That's
two
so
things.
crazy.
Yeah.
Because I know some doctors, that people that work in the medical industry, they get away with it by
Actually,
switching out.
at one point in time, we were friends with a girl that was in administration, and she could highlight your name if it came up for a drug test and delete it. And it would,
You got friendly with her, bro.
This world's all about who you know.
Yeah, connections. You got to make good connections.
But no, like I wouldn't. I don't know. Maybe if I came back here to visit, and
Yeah.
there was a party, I'd take a couple pokes. You know what I
Right.
mean? But I wasn't like.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
worth it.
That's dangerous. Well, yeah, we're gonna take a quick break and we'll be right back. That's good. So we got another like. All right, we are back with Infused Influence. I'm your host Ulysses. We got Lorian here, she's filling in today for Rayvon.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. And we got our special guest Drew Milionis. Milionis.
You can read.
Yeah.
You can pronounce my name. Probably.
I can't read, bro. I'm dyslexic.
No, that's not true. Come on.
No, it is.
For real?
Yeah, bro. I graduated high school with like a 6th grade reading level.
For real?
Yes, bro.
Wow, man.
Laugh at my pain. It was painful growing up, but I made it work.
Yeah, you did. I'd say so.
Oh man, yeah. So, no, yeah. So I mean, we're glad to have you, bro. I think you know, going off of that whole disability thing, you definitely fit the mold for us. What's considered what do we call this? Disenfranchised community. Because you served our country, and you know, like, I mean, you know the deal, bro. Sometimes
Yeah,
veterans aren't.
I'm a second, what is it? Second or first generation Greek. I'm first generation Greek in this country.
Yeah, are you considered that? Is that a checkbox as well for?
I mean, not too many people who work in this building's father came over on a boat. You know what I'm saying?
About to say, yeah.
Let's
know
see.
what?
There's a lot of immigrants though, bro.
The
A
more
lot
I
of.
hear about him, the more I understand why we became good friends.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm first generation too here. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not even I'm American, but I was adopted. I wasn't born here, you know? So
Right,
it's like,
right. Nah,
My
for
parents
sure.
weren't born here either.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
No, there's a lot of floating around, like America,
Yeah, of course.
Val.
Yeah.
I think
I didn't know that.
yeah,
Wow.
Val lived in Russia until he was like 11. Yeah, that's why he's so weird, bro.
That's, okay, that just changes my whole
not weird.
perspective.
No, he is. People
And
just
I
don't
forgive him
understand
for
him.
everything now.
See?
I thought
Yo,
Val's
I'm like-
not weird. Val's just Russian.
Yeah,
That's
well,
not,
that's
you
the
for
thing.
everything
Doesn't make
now.
him
I
weird.
was like,
And
I
people
didn't
don't know that. People don't know that.
If
I'm
you
like,
told
yo,
me that,
he
I'd be
means
like,
well, dude. He just
I'm
doesn't
like, what the
understand
hell?
culture, even though he's been here for 30 years. There's a scientific thing
he's
that,
so
like,
cool.
if you come over before you're like 8 or 9,
yeah.
then you will become accustomed to like wherever country you move. But if you move after
That's
that,
what happened to me. Yeah, I came
you know
here
what I'm
when I was
saying?
9.
Like,
oh my God,
yeah,
that's
man.
so true.
Yeah, bro.
I still to this day, I've been here for so long, but there's certain things I just
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
weird to me. I'm just like, why do you guys do that?
Yeah, bro. So yeah, no, and then Art is first generation as well. I think Rayvon too, bro.
Yeah, I think. Damn, the whole.
I think Rayvon, bro.
I guess I just meant like, for a gringo.
Yeah, no, I got you.
I get
Are
what
you the
you
only
mean.
Greek
I'm
that
not
works
the
that works here?
Yeah, it's like I'm not the most gringo, I guess.
Yeah. where who is, bro? Like, how would you define that?
Just, I don't know. You have to be like a, what is it? WASP, the white Anglo-Saxon
Yeah.
Protestant.
Really?
Which I am not.
Yeah.
Which I am none of those
5
things.
generations in America or something like that, where your ancestors were like slave owners or something,
Yeah.
or slaves, like either one. Like,
Even my mother's Irish. Her like DNA test, she's like literally like 98% Irish, and the other part Scottish.
Oh, word.
All indentured servants.
yeah,
Yeah,
I know the Irish had it hard when they came here.
Yeah, that's
They
hilarious.
was working too.
That's hilarious, bro. Man, so yeah, that's just a lot to unpack, man. Giving your background and being here, man. You know what I mean? So, but it is Easter and it's 420.
That's right. It's Easter for everybody too.
Yeah. So how you feel about 420, bro?
420, whatever. It's I don't need a holiday.
Yeah.
I love burning reefer. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I don't need a special holiday for it. And I think I understand where it came. It was like a bunch of students and what time they
Yeah.
would meet up or whatever, right?
Yep. Looking for a plant somewhere in
honestly-
Cali, right?
Yeah, it was in
Honestly,
Cali.
if you want to read all about 420, that doesn't seem that interesting to me. What you should should be reading about is Bicycle Day, which is 4/19.
Clap it up, bro. Tell us about Bicycle Day,
Bicycle
bro.
Day is when I think it's Albert Hoffman like first synthesized LSD and dipped his hand in it and had a magnificent bike ride home.
By just dipping his hand.
Well, yeah, he was like in a lab at like I forget. I think it was Bayer.
That's
like,
crazy.
Like somewhere in I would imagine Austria or Germany.
Yeah.
And yeah, he accidentally dosed himself with like a heroic dose of LSD.
Through his hand.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So just it got through his bloodstream and all that.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure most drugs were found out accidentally. Like
Yeah.
we were
All
just
the good
burning-
ones, at
that's
least.
what I'm saying. We were just burning something, and all of a sudden we inhaled it, and everyone was like, "Yo, this feels good." Like,
Exactly.
It's kind of like the concept of drugs that have side effects, and then that becomes their main use.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like what's that weight loss one? It was developed for something completely
else.
different.
Yeah, no, you lose weight for it.
Yeah, I know.
It was like a hypertension medication.
And then the
Sell
people
it
like,
for
I can get
something
high
else.
off this. Like,
It's nuts.
you know what's crazy? There's dolphins do that with pufferfish.
What?
Yeah,
Puffer
they
fish
can-
are like
they can-
poisonous, but
that's right.
they can handle it, so it's like just getting high for them. So they'll purposely make a puffer fish like poison them.
Yeah.
To get high. I'm like, they'll like pass it around too.
Yeah, stop it,
Listen
bro.
to that, too.
crazy.
They say what? Reindeer will eat Amanita muscaria.
Oh my god, yeah.
The mushroom.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
mushrooms
yeah.
that get you crazy high. And then
yeah.
there's animals that purposely eat fermented fruits to get
Get
drunk.
drunk,
Like,
yeah.
it's crazy. Like,
Yeah,
you
that's
think
wild.
humans do that? Nah, every animal's doing it.
Yeah,
Every animal wants to get twisted.
yeah,
They want to get hit hard too. Like, you should see some of them animals. They'll be walling when they're gone. Like,
It's true. Like birds will get drunk off like fermented berries.
stop it, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's wild.
I never
squirrels
thought
will do
about
it too, and they'll just you see them fall out of trees. Like, it's
Yeah,
it's
the
hilarious.
squirrels over here.
There's
You'll see them do it when
there's
I've seen
like
them.
primates that eat the hallucinogenic honey. Like
Yeah,
from
oh,
honeybees.
they'll go crazy. Yeah, they'll go. The primates will go crazy. Oh,
It sounds
they
like a
remind me of
National
humans.
Geographic series, bro.
They should do
There
it
has to
easily.
be one.
We gotta do one. We gotta find the content and just play it live for people.
I'm seeing it in my head. I'm like, it's reindeer. It looks drunk.
Oh, God, literally, that would be so fun to watch. Oh my god.
Yo, that's amazing. Yeah, so 4/19 is LSD day.
Basically, it's bicycle day, and it's yeah.
Really?
I think it's a lot more interesting than 420. I mean,
Yeah.
and that's like I'm not trying to be like I smoke a lot of weed. I don't care about 420. You know what I mean? I care more about my birthday. Oh, one of my homies' birthdays. We get high on that day. I don't know. You know what I mean?
No,
Let's make it special.
I do know what you mean, bro. Because our first year of doing this show, I remember like Rayvon and I talking through it, and I was like, yo, I never realized that people actually turn up on 420 because like.
because of it.
It's like, yo, when you have weed and you smoke weed, it's like, all right, that's
Like,
cool.
that's just
Right.
drinking water. To me.
Yeah. Well, it's so every day, and then all of a sudden it becomes commercialized, and it's like, yo, people actually are out here spending more money
Yes,
on this
because
day.
of it. Yeah. Well, it's just like anything else in this country.
Yeah, well, yeah. No, you're right, man. All the Hallmark holidays.
Yeah.
Let's just add this
Black
one.
Friday.
Yeah, bro. Valentine's Day,
everything.
Yeah, bro.
Mother's
You know what I
Day, Father. They always come up with some reason for you to buy something.
Yeah.
There's always something.
And it's once a month.
But people should know that you don't need 420 to support Major Bloom.
Oh, yeah.
Come here anytime.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
We
I've been
will
coming
sell
here
you
for 4
exactly
years
what you're
straight.
looking for.
Yeah. No, it's true. I mean, it's. I guess for us, it's more or less. Not that we still see the regulars, but it's just that they're spending more, maybe buying more for their friends and family.
Yes, of
you know what I mean?
Well,
I will-
also,
As opposed to new
with-
people.
With today coinciding with Easter, both regular Easter and Orthodox Easter, I've delivered to like parties today, and
Yeah,
yes,
that's
you're
what's
absolutely
up.
right. People are buying more stuff because their families there, their cousins,
Right.
they're you know what I mean?
Right. Wait, so you said Orthodox Easter and?
Yeah.
I don't know what's the difference, bro.
Well, usually like the Orthodox Easter will be the like following Sunday, if not like 2 following Sundays.
Right.
Because because Jesus died just for the Orthodox, not for everybody else.
I don't know.
Funny part.
No,
That's the funny
what
part.
they say. That's what they say.
That's what they
That's actually
say.
the
Wait
funny
a
part.
second.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Yeah.
That's the
I
funny
have
part.
no idea.
It's true. That's like, well, it's just like, like I mean, Orthodox, like the Orthodox Jew,
Right.
Orthodox Christian. It's Orthodox means OG, original.
Yeah.
Oh.
It means you follow the original
Original recipe.
Yeah. The original
Basically.
writings. There's like a bunch of different interpretations of the Bible, and
Yeah.
that's kind of where breaks up into different sects. And
Bro, as someone who grew up going to
Understand.
church, this stuff is way over my head, bro. Yeah, it's just too much. I just don't understand why it's so late this year. I don't. Answer me that, somebody.
I know, right? It's like, why is it so late? It's the groundhog's fault because it was snowing up until
Bro, it was
Easter, right?
snowing
We
last
literally
week.
had snow up until Easter. Like,
Yeah,
it finally
that's
was
stupid.
what 80 degrees yesterday. I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's
what?
stupid,
Out
bro.
of nowhere.
I know. And we got to be careful because we might end up dropping back. Like,
Yeah, I know. That's
Seriously.
the scary part.
Yeah.
Please don't.
It was a blizzard. There was like a blizzard. Again, I'm old, so I'm gonna tell you old stories. There was a blizzard, April Fool's Day blizzard. Look
Yeah,
that
yeah, I
up.
remember that.
Yeah.
I think it dumped like almost 5 feet of snow on
Crazy,
us.
When?
You know what I mean? I don't know. I think I was in like the 4th grade.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
Probably like
That was a
94,
long
96.
94, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I remember when it snowed on my birthday, bro. So
Yeah, April 1st. Did yours?
April
Was the
4th.
second?
April 4th.
Yeah. Okay.
And I was in the 3rd grade, so that had to have been, yeah, like around the same time, bro.
Yeah,
So,
that
yeah.
was it. Yeah.
And I thought it was weird because I had a
Yeah.
birthday party and I was like,
Why is there snow?
but it was much later. It just snowed last week. Like,
Yeah, literally. I was like,
Really?
I woke up to that snow too. I woke
Yeah.
up and it was just
not
It
knowing.
wasn't like the crazy part. It wasn't like just snowing regularly. It was like
It was coming down.
sticking snow too.
Right.
It was like a
What's crazy is it was at least 6 inches of snow where I live, and 2 days later it was all gone.
It was
yeah,
gone.
exactly. I knew it was gonna melt on the Sunday, Monday, because Monday of that week was like 60.
60,
right?
yeah.
Of course, it was gonna melt, but
Was that government snow?
It's all government snow. Ulysses.
Yo, you get Ray Vaughn in here talking about the weather. He's like, "There's a weather machine." he says the mayor has a switch.
you know what?
It's the weather dominator from Cobra.
I'll believe it because they really bring sand to the beach too. Like they'll do things like
Yeah.
they do the things to make it look better. So you go. Like,
Right,
they
right.
They put fake sand in the beach to make it look better.
Not the mayor though. When he says that, I'm like,
you never know.
I'm like, not Mayor Patty, bro.
I don't think he's that. I don't think Petty is that connected.
If it doesn't snow enough in Maine, they really get fake snow so you can ski. So,
Oh, yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? So I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, he might be right.
Yeah, we got Camry next week, and she talks about one year it snowed, and she picked up the snowball and put.
It wouldn't
Put a
melt.
lot-
It wouldn't melt. She's like, it wouldn't melt.
You remember that?
I've heard it. I've heard that.
Oh my
She told you.
God.
She told you. Yeah.
Oh gosh, she's one of those people, the conspiracy people
Bro,
that take the
she's
snow,
one-
put it in the
It's from
pan, and try to
chemtrails.
melt it.
Yeah.
Like it's fake snow. I'm like, what? And then it's
Ulysses,
really
we should
science.
just have a conspiracy podcast.
Yeah.
That's what I was telling
Possibly.
you. There's so
Yo,
many people here with conspiracy. I swear
Yeah.
you could have a good.
Yo, it's crazy. Yo, and I listen to him and I be like, yo, maybe this is true. I don't know. I don't know.
It makes you feel like you're in a conspiracy too. I'm like,
I
what
mean,
is
a
this?
little bit, bro. A little
like,
bit. This whole weed thing to me is really is conspiracy, bro. And much of the reasons, like, if I go to Tom's, bro, like Derek at Tom's, he's like, man, like just 20 years ago, you used to get arrested for it. Now you get awards. Now you get awards.
Yeah.
I'm like,
You're,
yeah.
you're absolutely right. Yeah. I always say that too. Like when I was a young Marine, if you had told me like
Right.
when you were older, you're gonna be like pretty happy, working in this industry,
Right.
I would have called bullshit. on
No,
you.
of
You know
course,
what I mean?
bro. Of course, bro. And even now, there's still some states that still, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, of
like,
course,
you get,
yes.
you know.
Even Rhode
They'll-
Island was wilding for a while.
They'll
like,
still
Yeah.
ruin your life
Yeah,
in
bro.
Alabama.
Yeah,
You
bro.
know?
Yeah, Sunbelt states, man.
It took, but even Rhode Island, right next door, it took them a while. Like we were legal here for a while, and they were
Yeah.
still having those like dare type videos,
Yeah.
like "Don't smoke, it's gonna ruin your life." Meanwhile, it's like straight up recreational right
Yeah.
across the street. I'm like,
Yeah,
what?
bro. I mean, and there's still some of those reminiscences of campaigns, like the whole thing with. I don't know how you guys feel about this. People driving under the influence, and like there are actually researchers in technology that try to like figure out how high someone is.
Yeah.
Dude, I despise that.
Yeah, I do
break.
despise
Yo,
that.
just
agree.
give it up. Like
breaks.
anyone out there, please give it up. Like, do not ruin it because
Yes.
you know, like
Yes. Yes. Well, that's the thing. I'm almost positive the Massachusetts State Police have a swab now.
for what? For
Mouth
weed?
swab, yeah, but tell you whether,
There's no
whether,
way,
whether
bro.
or not
That's
you've
crazy
smoked
to
in the
me.
last 6 hours.
No.
And if you deny it, it's just like
Stop it.
denying the breathalyzer.
Are you sure?
I'm almost positive.
Bro,
yes.
I feel like I would know that.
Like, again, thanks legalization again.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
We'll have to do some research
And I
on
tried
that,
to
Probably
bro.
have the,
I try to say it like that too. When I was a kid, like we just drove around and,
Yeah.
and smoked weed.
Yeah, easy.
Because even back then, you couldn't walk into the woods.
Right.
Somebody would call the cops on you.
Right.
Somebody would smell that from a mile away. And I mean, you smell it everywhere now, but there was a point in time where.
Absolutely,
You know
bro.
what I mean?
Yeah, no, 1,000%. And not to condone it, it's just that like we all know that drinking and driving is
it's way
far
worse.
Yes.
worse.
So different.
You know what I'm saying?
agree.
So it's
Yeah.
the difference of doing 20 and a 25 or 50 and a 25.
Yeah, exactly.
But I even
You
say
know
that
what I'm
like too, like smoking in the car was like. Back then, nobody's house was safe to smoke.
Yeah. No,
Or
not
if it
even
was
like a
even if
front.
it was like apartment or whatever.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
that was not a cool. You needed to get away from the crib. to
Yeah,
do
yeah.
that.
Interesting
You know
stuff,
what I mean?
man. Yeah. No, I do know what you mean. And then I feel like over time, a lot of parents, at least when I grew up and I was like 16, 17, I had at least one or two parents that were like, listen, we don't want you driving around.
Yes,
Like, you guys just
come
chill
here.
here.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So that was them forward thinking, like,
Yeah,
you
of
know,
course, yeah.
you know, so. Was it too early for you, bro? Like you didn't have. What about your parents, bro? Like how were they with it?
But you know what's really funny? I have an aunt and uncle that I love, and I have a cousin that I love too. And he always said, my mother, my aunt who I love, the nicest lady in the world.
Mm-hmm.
My mother was like a state trooper.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, bro, if your mother was the state trooper, my father was the Gestapo.
Yeah, it was the FBI,
Yeah,
bro.
no, it was like the Nazi secret police. So yeah, it was never that cool.
Oh, I got you.
I do tell a funny story though. I just in like high school, I'd smoke weed after school, and I'd go home stoned out of my gourd.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And my old man would make me like lunch. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Not knowing.
Yeah, it was awesome. We chatted up.
Yeah.
It was weird. And then like the one day I got out of school and like didn't smoke, and I went home and I was like, Pop, I'm not hungry. Like, not this afternoon. He thought there was something up. And
That is
you know
funny.
what I mean? I
Yeah.
can distinctly remember that, and I wanted to be like, hey, Pop, it's like the one time I'm not stoned.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's hilarious. Wow, man. Yeah, well, we're up on time. We're going to clap it up for Drew joining
Thank
us
you,
and
guys.
Lauren
Thank you,
as
thank
well. It's a true Worcester story. That's why your name's probably deep in the streets of Worcester, bro.
Straight up.
Straight up, man. For generations, bro. You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, well, yeah, you guys have just been infused. Again, this is Easter and 420. We're in here live streaming and bringing it to you guys. Appreciate Drew again. And you guys just been infused. Peace.